So last week when I did my Unholy Blood First Impressions video, many started to give me a lot of recommendations on social media and also in the comment section of that video. And because of all the recommendations, I was like, you know what? Obviously people are interested in me talking about different individual webtoons, so I decided to, look at a few individual webtoons you guys all recommended me and give them a shot. And one of the series I want to talk about today is Purple Hyacinth. It's a series that I saw recommended quite a few times in the comment section, so I decided to see what it's about, if I would enjoy it, etc. And here I am to give my overall first impressions / recommendation of the series. So, firstly, I have currently only read about 5 chapters, technically 6 if we're counting episode 0 or chapter 0 of the series, which is technically the prologue. And so I like what I've seen so far. It definitely has a lot of potential, and it definitely can be a really good series. Currently at this time, it looks like the series is pretty long, actually. It's got like 2 seasons. I think it has way over 100 plus chapters, so it's very long, but not obviously that long, because webtoons or a good binge read. You can easily catch up to a webtoon very quickly. It's not like a big mountain to climb up on, but there is a lot of content. So if you're interested in a webtoon that obviously is long, this is definitely a little bit longer than the normal webtoons. Usually you'll see something with 50 or 80 chapters. This seems to have a little bit more. To get into the overall themes, the vibe, and what it's about, Purple Hyacinth is basically a mystery story, or a story about kind of taking down a crime syndicate that is doing shadowy things behind the scenes. Now, if you're an individual that likes, let's say, Sherlock Holmes, or you like crime investigation series, stuff like that, then this might be for you, because it definitely has those type of elements, but it also has a supernatural element that has actually been thrown into the mix. The element I'm talking about is our main female character, Sinclair, that apparently has the ability to detect lies. Now, obviously, this ability is definitely incredibly useful, especially in her field of work. If she's going to be a part of the police department, like, a detective trying to figure out what's going on at each individual investigation or murder, etc., that's going to be a very big power to have. That's important to have, and it's definitely going to allow her to overcome many obstacles that she faces. However, just like with anything, there is another side to this great power she has. It comes with a lot of costs and negativity. For instance, it seems like she doesn't really let people know she has this power, obviously, but on top of that, she feels like because of this power, you can see that she regrets knowing things that she shouldn't know, because she's able to understand the true intentions of those around her. And if you are an individual that have ever read stories about individuals that are able to read someone's mind, or be able to detect their lies, you know the kind of problems these type of characters go through. Those type of characters, they go through issues to where they feel like they're invading the other person's mind. That's what many characters have to go through. You have others like, oh, you're invading my mind, you're invading my privacy. That's so wrong. And the characters kind of become disassociated or detached from everyone around them because of that power. And you can see that she's definitely had a hard life ever since she's apparently obtained this power. We don't know necessarily if she is the only one, or if this is something common. It isn't really established at this time, at least with the first 5 to 6 chapters of Purple Hyacinth. However, it is definitely engaging enough to make me interested and invested and want to see where the story is going to go. So now that I got the main overall premise of the character, but also what is kind of the theme of it, let's explain the actual story. So what's currently going on, at least, or what the story is trying to set up, is that our main female character, Sinclair, she is obviously a police detective, as I've already elaborated on, but she's someone that's looking for, evidence to a crime that happened 10 years ago. Now, it's not explained a lot. However, there was something at a train station. Now, obviously, many people died. It was a problem, and it's definitely remembered every single day. It's like every time it comes around the date that it happened, people remember it. They remember the names, and, they have service about it, all of that. Basically, it is a big event that happened 10 years ago where a lot of people died within the series. So because of that, it's clear that it's something that the entirety of the country and all that and probably the world knows about. However, it is an unsolved mystery. It's an unsolved crime scene, which that's where the mystery tag is thrown into. And she is trying to figure out who caused it, why it happened, and why did her life have to be ruined at that time? Because she is directly connected with what happened 10 years ago. Because it's elaborated on that she lost her parents and her family, friends, and everyone thanks to that accident 10 years ago. Or not accident, a crime that happened 10 years ago. So we know now why she has the motive of hunting down the murderer or murderers that caused that issue. We do know that it's directly connected to Phantom Scythe, however, because it was continuously mentioned throughout the chapters, and soon as she came in contact with someone that even had remotely a connection with it, she instantly is like, oh, I have a lot of answers for you, or questions for you, you're gonna give me a lot of information. You can see that she was driven by this passion to figure out what happened 10 years ago. So we kind of know who potentially caused it, but once again, we don't know the reasons why and who really did it, the face behind the scenes, and she's trying to, uncover that. So that is the general premise of what the story is kind of about, but getting into the nitty-gritty details, you have the main male character, I'm assuming, Purple Hyacinth, yes, title by the way, that is someone that is a part of the organization, and you can clearly see he is not a good guy. He committed 2 kills throughout the chapters I read, and it was a very messy killing spree he made, and apparently he is known for being one of the best, and that usually if you come in contact with him, you're pretty much gonna die, but apparently he was very sloppy this time around, and he technically allowed Sinclair to come in close contact with him and get a little bit of details out of him, and it kind of lets you know that he wants to form a special relationship with her where they can work together to bring down Phantom Scythe, the people responsible for whatever happened 10 years ago. The question is, why is this individual Purple Hyacinth taking a change with his overall morals or whatever? Why is he changing? Why does he want to work with her? Why is he now, after all these years, going against him? That is a lot of questions you start to wonder while reading the chapters, and I'm excited for it because I've always loved crime investigation series, mystery series, stuff like this. It's always something I loved. Like, I don't know, it's always been that type of stuff. I remember watching live action TV shows growing up with stuff kind of based around this type of, plot point, and I like what Purple Hyacinth is doing with the plot points. It's very tasteful, and it actually just, it looks good. The artwork as well looks really good. It definitely stands out to me as well, because, like, you have the great character designs, there's even some comedy thrown in. There's a lot to love from this series so far, and so I'm actually very happy so many people recommended this series to me. So just shout outs to all of you guys in the comments in the previous video I made for Unholy Blood that, told me to read this. I actually really enjoy this. I cannot wait to catch up and see more of it because it definitely has a lot of potential. And I wonder where the story will go. It kind of, if there is more individuals like Sinclair, I do want to know more about that. I want to know why she has that ability, but we don't see anyone else with really any abilities, which that's something I do want to talk about. One of the little details I like about the artwork is that how the writer of the story actually displays when someone is, lying. You have the text, which is, it's very... you can notice it if you pay attention to it, but it's something that is so well written into the artwork that it's just so nice. It's pleasing to the eyes. For instance, the normal text obviously is, black text, but when you see that someone's lying and they're not really being truthful, you see how the text kind of fades into a little bit of a red, and I do like that visual look. It lets you know when the characters are actually lying and when they're not, and probably what Sinclair is thinking in her head and how she's getting this type of information. I do appreciate that. It's a nice little detail that the writer does with the story, and I hope that continues throughout the remainder of the series when someone actually is in fact lying. But anyways, I'm very happy with being able to read this, and just thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. And also I want to shout out the writer slash artist of the series of Purple Hyacinth. I'll probably show an image here on the screen showing, their links to probably their Instagram or whatever. I love stuff like this. I love webtoons and these little offers and all that. They're always doing their best to write these series and give it to the people to enjoy these stories. I love it. And another thing too I do want to mention is that all the chapters actually have music that come with them. I did not know this was a thing, by the way. Like, I noticed the experience was different. Like, if you read it on the desktop, like if you read Purple Hyacinth on the webtoon, desktop, you don't get music. But if you read it on the app, you actually get music with the chapters, and I was kind of blown away, because I've read a few webtoons, but I've never really experienced a webtoon that had full-on music in a chapter, and so when I got to that, you know, when I started reading it, chapter 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 all had music thrown into it. I was like, whoa, this is really crazy. Like, I'm actually having music with a chapter. I mean, I'm always playing music when I'm reading something, but not having to do it and having this music that the artist throws in, I do appreciate that, because it kind of sets the tone, the mood, and what the author is trying to convey to the audience, the readers of the story. So that's definitely something I appreciate. I wonder if that's done more throughout the series, or if it's just because the series began and it had all those little music notes. But that's basically about it. If you're interested in the series, I will link it in the comments below, and also I'll link it in the description if you're interested. And once again, if you want to experience the music with it and you want to read it, you know, it's on the Webtoon app. So it's not actually on the desktop, it's on the Webtoon app. So just FYI there if you're unaware. But anyways, guys, you have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. And with that, Chibi out.